So, dear friends, colleagues, excellencies, welcome to Ukrainian Pavilion. This is the second Ukrainian Pavilion. First was on COP27. This is the second Ukrainian Pavilion. And I always said that Ukrainian Pavilion on COP is the place of unity. I just have seen that this real place of unity when the minister discusses a lot of issues, not only about Ukraine, but also other important issues. And I'm really happy that it's possible. So I'd like to discuss today with you our initiative. It's about environmental declaration, which was presented on our conference where we invited all of you. But unfortunately, we had just maybe 10 ministers. Somebody was online. Some has some troubles with some trouble. So thank you for coming. I hope that our meeting will be fruitful and resultative. And I just show you a short presentation about our declaration to say once again what about it and why it's important for whole globe. So, dear ministers, excellencies, for 21 months, 654 days, 54 days, we have been resisting Russia's brutal and merciless aggression with dignity. I say we are, because without you, without the support of our partners, it would be much more difficult for us. The aggressor continued to destroy buildings, kill people, and destroy all life in this path. Nothing stops Russia in the attempts to success. The enemy doesn't think that the damage they caused, including to the environment, will turn into a catastrophe for the whole world. The environmental has no borders. Therefore, we must unite to prevent ecocide today and in the future. That's why countries, governments, and non-governmental organizations are coming together. International organizations, alliances and conventions are being created. Please, the next slide. Today, the environmental damage caused by the Russian aggression amounts to almost 57 billion euros. This is almost twice as much as I announced last year at the COP27 in Egypt. The biggest disaster in Europe in recent decades is Russians' undermining of the Kakhovka hydroelectric dam. Hundreds of homes were flooded. Thousands of animals and plants died. Nature-protected areas are on verge of extinction. Our pavilion presents the installation roof. You see this roof? This is someone's lost life. We have hundreds of such houses. During COP28, we talk a lot about combating greenhouse gases. The next slide, please. But for Ukraine, this issue has a slightly different meaning. Reducing emission for us is not only about getting rid of fossil fuels. It is also about clearing our land from the occupiers. After all, constant hostilities mean emissions of combustion products, contamination of our land with fuel, and constant fires. Russia continues to move the world away from the Paris Agreement. The war has increased greenhouse gas emission by 150 million tons. 12 months ago at the COP27, I mentioned the figure of 97 million tons of CO2. Last year, during the COP27, President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, presented the initiative to create a global platform for assessing environmental damage from war. The practical implementation of the initiative is embodied in the Environmental Declaration. We presented the draft declaration in October this year in Kyiv during the United for Justice, United for Nature forum. I'm very pleased that today our partner states have expressed their readiness to support the declaration. Everyone can join the declaration. There's no restriction. States, organizations, politicians, experts, scientists, etc. We want the platform to become not just a platform for discussion, but eventually a global organization that will help protect the environment of any state during the conflicts. Today, we are united to stop Russia and make it pay for what it has done. Tomorrow, this president will deter potential aggressors and prevent armed conflict in the world. I thank all those who have already expressed desire to join the declaration and have a clear position on the responsibility to protect the environmental. Your presence here today is very valuable to us. I urge everyone to support the declaration and contribute to join work to protect the environmental from military aggression and occupations. By supporting the declaration today, you are laying the foundation for a consequent future. With that, I'd like to consider and give the floor to my colleagues, ministers for environmental, who are presented here to say some words about the declaration and maybe readiness to join it. You have the timeline on the screen. This timeline means our activity, what we plan to do with this declaration. I hope that the 2024 will be the year of our cooperation on the fields of this declaration. And I believe that our joint actions will help us prevent future wars. Because even if this platform will prevent the wars, future wars, even in 2%, I'll say that our joint work and our joint mission done. So I'll stop. I'm glad to see my colleagues who attend the presentation. I'm happy that we have new representatives here today who wasn't on Conference United for Justice, but I understand that all of you in heart with us. And I'd like to know that, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, but I'd like to hear all of you. So, colleagues, I don't know who will be first. Maybe somebody want to be first, but I like to give the floor to Jordanka Rodica, the Minister of Environmental Protection of Moldova. So, please.
Dear colleagues, dear Ruslan, and dear excellencies and distinguished delegates, we have the big pleasure to be here in this meeting room and to discuss about the possibility to help Ukraine and also to avoid all the actions which could create a damage to environment, especially the actions created by war. So we are totally support this declaration, and we would like to have the common understanding on the way how to work, how to communicate, how to support each other, and also how to help Ukraine to recover and to be stronger and to win. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to give the floor to Kai Mikanen, Minister of Climate and Environmental of Finland.
Okay, dear colleagues and Mr. Minister, it's an honor to be here in the Ukrainian pavilion. As I already told, actually, I had an honor also to already do cooperation with Ukraine before Russia's total attack in 2016. I used to have the hat of development and trade minister, and we were opening a school in Kherson built by Finnish construction companies, actually including also solar panels and heat pumps. So hopefully that is only a start for our future clean energy cooperation. And definitely Finland stands firmly with Ukraine. We, if any, understand what kind of aggression, unfortunately, sometimes one must face from Russia. And when it comes to this peace initiative, you mentioned the Article 8 of the President Zelensky's peace initiative. So Finland has agreed to become a co-chair of this Article 8 cooperation led by Germany, and we are co-chairing together with Bulgaria. And definitely, hopefully, we can be of help in this both legal process in putting Russia to be responsible about what's been happening, as the minister you yourself depicted, the huge disasters what has been caused by the attack already. And on the other hand, as important, of course, is to help you and do together the fixing the situation so that environmental aspects in Ukraine in its rebuilding of the country will be in the core of the agenda. And we've been working, of course, within EU circles to help you already. We are also working in Nordic circles when it comes to NEFCO funds, which is a Nordic environmental facility. And we are hopefully next year finding even more bilateral financing, risk financing possibilities, which we are launching actually in the Finnish budget next year to enable companies which could be of help in constructing especially energy effective district heating, constructing schools, different kind of needed public services, and help you to go forward with COP28 goals of renewable and also developing stable and clean nuclear power. So we definitely want to be with you, and also we see a positive approach to this declaration what you are forming, and we will be following that up later on together with you, hopefully in Berlin, for instance, as you mentioned in the timeline. So definitely thank you. It's an honor for me to be in this panel of supporters of Ukraine's task. And I must also apologize that I have another meeting where I have to be rushing quite soon, but I wish you all fruitful discussions here, and definitely let's look forward to better next year in Ukraine also when it comes to environmental aspects and rebuilding of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining Peace Formula of President Zelensky together with the Germany and with Bulgaria. And really, your co-chairing is very important. And I hope that the next year will be the year when you will join not only Peace Formula, but the declaration under the umbrella of Peace Formula of Vladimir Zelensky. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. So, and now I'd like to give the floor to the one more co-chair of Point 8 of Peace Formula, Yulian Popov, the Minister of Environmental of Bulgaria. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Ruslan, dear ministers and guests and colleagues. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to say a couple of words here. Our thoughts and feelings are with all the victims of an unjust and war against Ukraine, and it is a sign of incredible humanity to go beyond the immediate problems and damages of the war in Ukraine, and to think and to transfer this experience into much more global agenda. And this is an agenda that, as Ruslan said, can prevent war. I mean, the 2% is a huge thing that he mentioned. And if we raise the value of this concept of war crimes against nature, we will be able to promote the peace dimension of the nature preservation and nature recovery. Bulgaria, of course, will join the declaration. We have a Council of Ministers decision already, and we are very honored to be together with Finland and Germany, co-leaders of the green recovery and the environmental recovery of Ukraine. We'll be particularly focused on the Black Sea and the impact of the war on the Black Sea, but also the rivers and all the nature that has been so badly damaged by the invasion. But I would like to appeal to all of you to spread the word and to engage the countries that are probably hesitating where exactly to stand, because nature is for everybody. I mean, there's no political side that we have saying. Every human, every country, every human being, and every human community should be engaged globally in this initiative in one way or another. So I would like to thank the minister and pass the microphone to the next speaker. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for co-chairing. And now I'd like to give the floor a big friend of Ukraine too. It's Mircea Fecet, the Minister of Environmental Protection of Romania. So we have a very good cooperation with Romania, and with the time of new minister, I hope that our relations is just escalate in a good way. So please.
Thank you, dear Minister. Thank you, Ruslan. When we hoped in Kiev to see each other again here at COP28, we are, of course, hoping to adopt the declaration. And I'm so glad that so many people came here today, and so many ministers from so many countries. And that I think that this is a really strong signal, as it is the signal that I'm trying to address myself, that you are not alone, that you are not only fighting for your sovereignty, for your land, this unjustified and this unprovoked attack by the Russian Federation, but you are fighting for all the things that we all believe in, like human dignity, like democracy, and values that we pressure so much. Of course, that Romania also will adopt the declaration, and of course that we will not only remain one of your neighbors, because we share more than 600 kilometers of borders, but Romania will stand out as a big supporter of Ukraine in the future. And I'm hoping that the things that we will decide here and the things that we will agree next year in Germany will help the Ukrainian situation. Thank you, Ruslan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next big friend of Ukraine is Romina Pohtomari, is the Minister of Environmental Protection of Sweden. So please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear colleague, Minister Ruslan Strilets. Thank you to all the excellencies being here as well to show our support. I can only second what was already mentioned. I had written it in my notes as well. The reason that we are here is because we see the struggles that are happening. You are fighting a great fight, and we want to show you that you're not doing it alone. So you are not fighting for only Ukraine's freedom. You're fighting for all of our freedom, and we stand behind you. And as I always mention, we look forward to celebrating together when Ukraine has reclaimed your country and won the war and has the victory. So we are all looking forward to that. And in this time, we stand behind you, not only with the funding. Of course, as you know, Sweden is gathering as much as we can. We have contributed. Now we're up to 2.4 billion euros in support to Ukraine, and this is in many different aspects of it all, not least environmental. We have had long time of environmental cooperation, and we look forward to also in the national plans of recovery and reconstruction also to work on the environmental aspects of that, the environmental restoration and the support for the green transition in your recovery. I also think it is great that we are gathering here at COP28 to discuss this wonderful environmental declaration you have made, but also the progress that you are making in spite of the situation you are facing with the aggressive war from Russia. Because this matter, it's not a national matter. As I mentioned, both the aspect that you're fighting for our freedoms as well, but the consequences of this, it's not national consequences, it's global consequences on your environment and on the state of not only your environment, but also the climate and the emissions this is producing. So I think that the COP28 is a great opportunity for all of us to not only speak on the climate situation and climate crisis that we are facing, but also on the peace formula. It is very relevant for the environmental development in our world. So we need to strengthen our supports. And I'd also like to mention that Sweden has particular interest in also supporting the organizations working for environment in Ukraine. This is very important. We are supporting, I think now 13 different environmental organizations in Ukraine. And I raise this because they have a great understanding of the monitoring of what is actually happening and what are the consequences of the war. And I think that this is very important aspect as well to support a strong civil society in Ukraine, as well as the state and your nation in the incredible fight that you are fighting for all of us. So courage and Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Героям слава.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And you know, the support of Sweden is a great support, is a huge support. It's not only military, but humanitarian support and expert support. So thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. And let's move forward. And I'd like to give the floor a big friend of Ukraine. We all big, you all big friend of Ukraine, but one of the big friend of Ukraine is Simonas Gintvilas, the Minister of Environmental Protection of Lithuania. So please.
Once again, thank you, Ruslan. Thank you, friends of Ukraine, for being here. And I think the reason why we are here is because we trust international law. We have gathered on the United Nations event, and United Nations were created after desperate Second World War, which had huge consequences for humanitarian and for Europe in general. And unfortunately, we are witnessing another war in Ukraine. Russia has abolished international law totally, has gone beyond any international law. Most of the rules are broken, and we have to create another rule that if you do a damage for environment, you will be kept responsible. So after Ukrainian victory, we have to have rules that Russia will be responsible to demine, afforest, reconstruct the nature, because nature is also global, as many of us spoke, and nature is a silent victim of the war currently. We have witnessed Kakhovka, which influenced a lot of Black Sea. Eastern European countries witnessed forest fires, which were also felt 1,000 kilometers away. We still are witnessing occupation of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant with Chernobyl in mind, what would happen. So environmental criminals should be kept as criminals. And we as society of environmentalists, we know the rule of polluter pays. But there should be a rule that aggressor pays as well. So, Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава. Thank you. Thank you, Simonas. And you need to know that Lithuania may be the first country who sent the real expert to our ministry. And the representative of Ministry of Environmental Protection of Lithuania was 2 months in our ministry. They went to bombing shelter with our team. They was seated in bombing shelter together with our team and continue preparation for our accession to European Union. So thank you very much. And you may be the first country who took the patronage under one of the national parks of Ukraine and support it very much. So thank you. Next side of our panel, and we have the minister whose country take the patronage my native region of Ukraine, Dnipropetrovsk region. So now I want to give the floor the Minister of Environmental Protection of Czech Republic, Petr Hladik, please.
Dear Ruslan, dear ministers, dear colleague, dear friends, I have a few minutes to kind of saw your expressive but set exhibition to saw due the virtual reality to destroy part of the Ukraine, the citizens, the villages, and to possible to touch the part of the Ukraine land which it's already contaminated by the Russian soldiers, and it's the huge thing. That's the reason why the Czech Republic considers it's essential to hold the states that provocate the war conflict, including Russian, contribute for the damage caused in the environment. We support coordinate global response to condemn and address the environment damage caused by the war conflict. We see the idea of creating an effective tool for assisting this damage as essential. The Czech experts are already continuously involved in international activities in Ukraine to map and assess the environment damage caused by the conflict, for example, under UNEP and collection and analysis of mood samples for the bottom of the destroyed Kakhovka Dam and the sentiments of the Dnipro River, and in the training of Ukraine environment inspectors on how to assess the contaminated sites. So the Czech Republic has also supported the investigation conducted by the International Criminal Court and the proposal to establish a special tribunal to prosecute perpetration of the crime of aggressor against Ukraine. That's the reason why the Czech Republic it's ready to sign your declaration. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for readiness to be with us. And I know that Czech Republic is always with Ukraine. We feel it from the first day of the full-scale invasion. So thank you very much. And we have Vladimir Martinovich, Minister of Tourism, Ecology, Sustainable Development, and the Northern Region of Montenegro. I know that you need to leave us, but maybe some words very briefly.
Sve vas pozdravljam, uvažene koleginice i kolege. Mene raduje što je vaš paviljon danas ovako posjećen, ali ne znam sad zbog prevoda.
I'm very grateful that I'm here today, and I'm happy to see that this pavilion is visited by so many people today.
Ali ono sa čime nisam zadovoljan i što me nimalo ne raduje jeste što rat još uvijek traje i nije završen.
The one thing that I can say that I'm not happy with it, I am sad to understand that this aggression is not still finished.
Ja se iskreno nadam da ne bih se ponavljao u odnosu na moje prethodnike, da ćemo svi zajedno dati podršku Ukrajini na putu oporavka i da ćemo se sljedećom prilikom sresti sa okončanjem agresije i sa oporavkom Ukrajine kao zemlje u cjelini u onim dijelovima kojim je zahvaćena ovim ratom.
I would not repeat myself as my colleagues previously said all the things that we agree with, but I just want to say that I hope that next time we will see each other with the efforts that are being made in the process of Ukraine and its recovery as a country and the environmental protection and the living of their people.
Crna Gora stoji snažno uz Ukrajinu, a ja se vama izvinjavam zbog ranije preuzetih obaveza što moram sada odmah napustiti paviljon jer imam sljedeći sastanak.
I just want to mention that Montenegro stands strongly with Ukraine, and I really need to apologize because of the other meeting. I have to leave earlier, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Commissioner, join us. Welcome, Commissioner. Thank you for coming. Colleagues, I have time for one more or maybe two words. So we have the Minister of Environmental Protection of Georgia. So please.
Dear colleagues, I want to inform you that I'll do my speech in Georgian. მე მინდა მოგესალმოთ კოლეგებო ყველას და მადლობა გადაუხადო უკრაინის მინისტრ ბატონ რუსლან სტრილეცს დღევანდელ ღონისძიებაზე მოწვევისთვის.
I would like to say a couple of words of greetings to my colleagues and say big thank to the Minister Ruslan Strelets for inviting me here.
ჩემთვის რა თქმა უნდა პატივია თქვენთან ერთად COP28-ის ფარგლებში მონაწილეობა მივიღო დღევანდელ შეხვედრაში.
It's a great honor for me to participate, to be the part of this meeting today within the COP28.
პირველ რიგში ხაზი მინდა გაუსვა იმ ფაქტს, რომ დღეს ჩვენ COP-ზე ვიმყოფებით და კლიმატის ცვლილების გარდა უმძიმესია გარემოზე ზემოქმედების შედეგები, რომელიც გამოწვეულია კონფლიქტებით.
I would like to underline that we are within the COP28 right now, but there are several consequences which we are triggered by the armed conflict on the environment.
უკრაინის წინააღმდეგ მიმდინარე აგრესიული ომი კიდევ ერთხელ გვახსენებს გარემოს დაცვისა და გლობალური მშვიდობის ურთიერთდაკავშირების მნიშვნელობას.
The aggression and war against Ukraine once again reminds us of the meaning and importance of the environmental protection during the war.
ჩვენ რა თქმა უნდა სულ სოლიდარობას უცხადებთ უკრაინას და მინდა გამოვხატო ჩვენი მტკიცე მხარდაჭერა უკრაინის დამოუკიდებლობის, სუვერენიტეტისა და ტერიტორიული მთლიანობის მიმართ.
Of course, we express the full solidarity towards the Ukraine, and I want to state my support to the territorial integrity of the Ukraine within the international recognized borders.
მინდა აქვე აღვნიშნო, რომ რუსეთის შემოჭრა უმძიმეს კვალად რჩება დღემდე საქართველოში, რასაც მოყვა ქვეყნის ტერიტორიის 20%-ის ოკუპაცია.
I would like to also emphasize that the Russian invasion was also very hard, triggered very hard consequences for the Georgia as well, which resulted in the loss of 20%, the control over the 20% of our country.
აგრესიის შედეგები დღემდე გრძელდება და ჩვენ ვხედავთ უკანონო დაპატირებებს, მკვლელობებს, გატაცებებს, რაც სამწუხარო რეალობაა.
These hazardous consequences of this invasion is still in the process of development because we have these illegal deportations and gripping occupations and other hard consequences.
რაც შეეხება დეკლარაციას, რომელიც დღეს ჩვენთან არის წარმოდგენილი დღევანდელ შეხვედრაზე, კარგად ასახავს ქვეყნების კოლექტიურ ერთგულებას გარემოსდაცვითი მართლმსაჯულებისადმი.
As regards with the declaration which we have presented here, which we see here, reflects perfectly the joint efforts of every countries in terms of global meaning of the environmental protection.
ნიშნულოვანია ხაზი მინდა გაუსვა, რომ გავაერთიანოთ ძალისხმევა აგრესიის შედეგების მოსაგვარებლად და ვიმუშაოთ ყველასთვის მდგრადი და სამართლიანი მომავლისთვის.
It is very important to join our efforts to work for the environmental protection and for the peace for all of the countries.
ჩვენი ერთობლივი ვალდებულებაა მშვიდობის, სამართლიანობის და გარემოს დაცვის მიმართ და რომელიც აყალიბებს იმ მემკვიდრეობას, რომელსაც ჩვენ მომავალ თაობებს აუტოვებთ.
It is our joint responsibility to have this effort to leave this environment and everything to the next generations. So this is very important for us.
კიდევ ერთხელ დიდი მადლობა.
I would like to thank you once again.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. Thank you, Minister. And we have Vice Minister of Ministry of Environmental Protection of Italy, Vania Gava, please. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you because I'm sincerely thank you for your invitation and I wish to renew the Italian closeness to the Ukrainian people and our support to Ukraine for the implementation of climate and environmental initiative. I would like to seize this opportunity to reiterate our full commitment to support Ukraine in its efforts for the recovery and resilience of country ecosystems, impacted not only by effect of climate change, but also by the ongoing aggressive war, which is causing unprecedented and almost irreversible damage to the environment. And so my presence here is because Italy endorsed the environmental declaration proposed and the creation of the global environmental platform aiming to unite the world community to order to develop and a universal and effective mechanism of calculation of damage from wars. In this perspective, I wish to recall the signing the Memorandum of Understanding in the field of environment and sustainable development between our minister and Ukrainian ministry signed last April in Rome. And also I want to remember the work already initiated in the framework about supporting the modernization of Ukrainian air quality monitoring system. So I want to confirm our support, the support of our country to you and the Ukrainian people. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And we have two more participants. And I want to give the floor to the Vice Minister of New Zealand, Victoria Halum. Please.
Thank you very much, Minister, and I recognise the other countries represented here. New Zealand is perhaps the furthest away of anyone on this panel. I feel a little out of place, surrounded by so many European countries, but I think it's a useful reminder that what is happening in Ukraine is not just a European problem, but one that is affecting us all and the planet we share. From the start, New Zealand's reaction to the war in Ukraine has been shaped by our commitment to territorial integrity, sovereignty, and international law, as guaranteed by the UN Charter. For if international law is silent at these times, what value does it have? And we know, as shown by the very evocative presentation on the wall over there, that humans are not the only victims of war and that the environment suffers as well. And we can see very visibly the scars of the suffering of the environment in this war. For this reason, we think that the current project and the declaration is something that makes perfect sense and is an important element of the accountability that we must all seek for this illegal war of aggression. Now, the New Zealand government is a new government. Our Minister for Climate Change came to the COP only 72 hours after the formation of his government. So we are not in a position to formally endorse the declaration, but I will take it home and provide it very careful consideration because we hope to be able to contribute to these efforts to make sure that the international law is not silent when the planet and the environment is the victim. So thank you very much. Kia ora.
Thank you very much. I want to say that we are ready for reaction of all countries to the next year, and the next year we will have the day of joining the declaration officially, and I understand that we have enough time to read this declaration, to change this declaration, maybe to work and to change some wording and other issue. So, and the last but not least, Deputy Minister of Estonia, Kristi Klaas, please.
Yes, hello, dear Minister, dear friends. I would like to express our full solidarity to Ukraine and its people. We fully support the declaration and reiterate that Russia must be held accountable for the environmental and ecological damage caused by the war in Ukraine. The damage to the environment and to the nature is a global concern. It is important for the international community to help Ukraine to limit and eliminate environmental damage. Helping Ukraine is of great priority for us, and we have answered the call of President Zelensky, and we have focused on a particular region, Zhytomyr Oblast. We have built there a kindergarten and also contributed financially to help to reconstruct the whole region. And we are starting to build houses for foster families in cooperation with Olena Zelenska Foundation. And we would like to continue our help. We have a lot of expertise, how to map, prioritize, and deal with polluted water resources after Soviet army left Estonia. So we are ready to offer our knowledge and know-how and to help you. And finally, I would like to emphasize once more that Ukrainians are showing remarkable courage, but we need to help them. If we help you, you will win this war. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In our pavilion, we have some words from our president. Helping our country end the war teaches us how to end all wars. So it's what about you say now? And thank you. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, dear friends, excellencies. I'm sincerely grateful to you for joining the panel. I'm confident that our discussion will continue, including within the framework of the platform and declaration, which platform which we are launching by signing the environmental declaration. I'm confident that with such partners, we will be able to defeat any enemies, protect the environmental, and ensure the harmonious existence of humans and nature. I invite you to join the environmental declaration next year. The more countries join our efforts, the better we can do this work. Thank you very much, and glory to Ukraine. And